Hey guys, welcome to the 40th episode of General Query. This is Fonz. I go by he, him, and his.
Hi guys, and this is Zuki, and I go by she, her, and hers. Welcome to episode 40.
Yeah.
40!
Yeah.
We've done this 40 times!
I know, it's fun. It doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it at all, honestly.
I was about to see if the mic was on. I was like, wait. Trauma from the past couple episodes.
Yeah, no, it seems like it's on. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guys, welcome to episode 40. We made it.
Yeah, thank you for following us through our journey.
Yeah.
On Instagram, TikTok, now YouTube.
Yeah. We noticed, we were just talking about it just a second ago off mic, that you guys like longer videos on TikTok than the shorts.
Yeah, we've noticed that.
So
that's kind of cool.
We'll work on that.
Yeah,
a little
for sure.
bit. We can definitely do that. So yeah, we love hearing from you there and seeing what you like on all the social medias.
All the socials. Yeah, let us know if you guys still like seeing the little videos of our drinks.
Yeah, please.
We also got really lazy at those. But I still enjoy having different cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you guys, can Google them.
Or, we can be your Google. Because that's how important we think we are.
Right. Yeah.
We think we can be your Google,
Right,
clearly.
right. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, but I'm sure you guys notice.
Oh yeah.
We have
a new friend
back here. So we promised y'all that through the holiday season we weren't just gonna neglect Christmas and other holidays, that we were gonna make sure we've got representation.
I'm gonna bring a little Hanukkah. Just kidding.
Oh my god, we can make him hold a menorah. That'd be adorable.
Be cool. Yeah.
But so yeah, this is our newest addition to the podcast. Consider him a third co-host.
Welcome, Pecker.
His name is Pecker. Both because we're gross, and two, we can come up with a name off the fly, and Pecker just felt right.
Felt right. Yeah.
It felt right.
Yeah.
It felt right.
As far as today's drink, this is actually delicious, and it's very on theme with our episode today. It's called the Wet Pussy Cocktail. Now, don't get it confused with the shot. This is the cocktail.
I didn't even know there was a wet pussy shot.
Apparently there is. I didn't want to do
What's
that.
in it? Do you
I
know?
have no clue.
So
I just know there's a shot and a cocktail.
So can I ask for it at a bar, you think? Like, can I be like, oh, can I have a wet pussy shot?
A wet pussy shot? Probably, yeah. I think the cocktail would be harder to find.
Yeah, because it has very specific ingredients. So Fonz is making it. He's like, this calls for 6 shots of cream. And I was like...
Just clicked. As you said it, I was like, oh.
That is disgusting. Oh my god.
Right.
And then I said, no, just 3 is enough. Wow. I didn't realize what I just done there. Okay.
Yeah,
anyway.
as soon as you said it right now, I was like,
oh, good. Well,
so it does have cream in it.
It does have cream in it. 3 shots of cream to be exact. And
Our version has 3 shots, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you can cream it up with 6 if you want.
Or milk. You can use milk too if you want. And it has Shambo and Bailey's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really nice.
It's a whole breakfast.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's delicious. Like, I love it. It's really good. But, so, I feel like we didn't even plan it, but everything is on theme.
Everything, yeah.
So, we've got Pecker. Wet pussy as a drink. And our topic for this week is sex workers and sex work.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm glad. So, this was actually her idea. But no, I'm glad because I saw an interview the other day with Candace Owen.
Oh god, that fucking frigid bitch. Yeah.
Not even frigid. She's like brain dead or something. I don't know. It was actually really interesting because there's like I want to say 6 sex workers that she kept calling prostitutes over and over again.
Of course she did.
And then...
And we'll talk about that.
Yeah, and homewreckers. And then, I don't know, she was just it was a lot. And then the host was just kind of like laughing through it because obviously he was provoking all of them.
Right, of course.
It was fun.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, whenever that term, like, homewrecker comes up, I always picture some woman with, like, massive bazookas, and she's, like, tearing through a town like Godzilla. And she's just
destroying everyone's
she's just fucking
house.
destroying everyone's house. Yeah, I never picture,
Like trailer trash Tammy.
like trailer trash Tammy. She's like, fuck, oh my god, I love her.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I picture. But yes, so yeah, Candace Owens. I mean, that's the thing. Obviously, like, sex work has a massive history.
I think it's been like stigmatized through the church a lot.
Massively through the church. Yeah, I mean, I think so.
Because historically,
it's been I don't want to call it a necessary evil. It's been a part of society.
Part of society.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's been like a cook.
Like
and
a cook.
Sex worker is the same thing.
A baker.
Yeah.
Same thing. Provide something that people want.
Need.
Need.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah. So, quick definition. A sex worker is a person who provides sex work either on a regular or occasional basis. The term is used in reference to those who work in all areas of the sex industry. So, let me see.
So that includes like pornography.
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
Yeah. So
prostitution is one of them.
Everything.
Of course.
Prostitution.
Strip dancing.
Strippers are considered sex workers. Escorts.
Escorts, yeah.
Dating services in general, like that is also considered sex work.
The side hoe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is interesting. So you hear a lot. So, like Fonz was saying with Candace Owens, like insisting to call them prostitutes, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, technically it is the line of work, but it's not their job description.
It's not their job description. And again, there's a very specific stigma attached to the word prostitute. And so the term sex worker was coined in 1978. So this isn't a new thing.
Right. By
sex worker activist Carol Lee.
That's another thing. Candace Owen kept on saying how sex worker is a new word.
No, it's not. So here it is. It isn't.
Yeah.
So the term sex worker has since spread into much wider use, including academic publication by NGOs and labor unions. So it's used to avoid invoking the stigma associated with the word prostitute. It also allows members of the sex industry to be represented and helps ensure that individuals who are actually prostitutes are not singled out and associated with the negative connotations of prostitute.
Yeah.
So, yes, language matters and it's not a big deal.
Right.
You can say.
Right. It's just a word.
It's just a word.
The proper word.
The proper word.
So, I didn't know this, but apparently prostitution, aka sex work, is legal in Nevada. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and I think, like, I think for me, this is something that it's important to call out. So, sex work is not just opposed by conservative members or what we would view as conservative members of society, right? It's also viewed badly by anti-prostitution feminists, right? So there are sects of the feminist movement that feel that any type of sex work, even if you willingly do this outside of coercion, is harmful.
I can see why.
Why? I'm interested.
Feminists would think that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, like exploitation of, women.
Female bodies.
Bodies, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
I can see why they would fight against it, but also, like, another feminist point is, like, your body, your choice. Like, if she wants to show her tits online, like, let her be.
Yeah, and I think with that, like, with sex work, for me, the biggest thing is, like, the women or the people that choose to do sex work, it's now become more of you can choose to have your body consumed as opposed to being an unwilling participant in a system that constantly consumes your body, right? Yeah.
Disclaimer, we might be a little vulgar during this episode.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, as if you're not used to it by
This
now.
is very true.
It's
also a lot of opinion, so
yeah,
take it lightly. Unless we're reading something.
Yeah, unless we're reading something. But, like, for me, I think sex work is They call it the oldest profession in the world.
Do you think it's a necessity?
Oh, that's a really tough question.
Like in society? Because a lot of questions were brought up during this interview that I saw with
Tell me.
that idiot.
Like what?
Like that. Like, do we need it? Does society need sex workers?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Why?
I think there are perhaps a lot of folks that will take it from one extreme to the other, right? So there are perhaps folks that are disabled, or folks that don't feel like they can engage in a relationship with another person that may lead to sex.
Yeah, so there's a lot of discrimination.
There's a lot of discrimination, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so sex work
is an option.
It can fill that gap.
Mm-hmm.
I think also, this might be controversial, but I think sex work may bridge a gap in society where folks that have a specific kink, that they have not been able to sort of find their niche, right, in society, can find it in sex work.
I'm glad you brought up those 2 points, because those were like the main points that, the sex worker brought up. Yeah. Because there were 2 parts to the interview. The first part was like in a podcast, like it was 6 sex workers, and then Candace, and then the host. And then later on, Candace was like, oh, I brought this prostitute, that's what she said, once again, because she seemed very quiet. She didn't want to give her opinion. She didn't give us her story. So then I saw that other interview too, because I was like, ooh, interesting, Like, obviously, because I know Candace is a conservative idiot and her opinions are very extreme, even though she doesn't consider herself an extremist. She is totally an extremist. And so I saw that interview too. One of the points she brought up was like that, a lot of my clients are either, disabled people. Sometimes their mothers bring them in for me to pleasure them. And then the other part is like, there's a lot of people that can't fulfill their fetishes with either their partners or just, people they meet. Like, they have a very specific kink or fetish. Yeah. That sometimes they do need to pay for. Yeah. And which brings me to another question, like, and this is something that, once again, and I'm referencing this interview with Candace a lot, not because I agree with whatever they said, but they did bring up really great topics that I feel we should discuss. So one of the things that she brought up was like, well, yeah, but also, don't you think that hurts people's marriages? Like, what do you think about that?
I think people that are married hurt their marriages.
Yes. I think it's not the sex worker's fault at all.
Right. And I think, again, it sort of feeds into that home wrecker narrative, right? Yeah. Very, very clearly, as a married person, right, I raise my hand. If either of us does something that is clearly outside the bounds of our established agreement, we did that. Yes. The person we decided, or persons that we may have decided to include in that, have nothing to do with it. Yeah. So married people.
Although there are people, and to your point, there are people that will try to get into your marriage. Like, there are a lot of like very easy men and women out there that just want to fucking stick it or sit on whatever they can. But once again, if that person allows it, then it's on that person and their marriage or their partnership, not that their person being easy.
I agree. Yeah. I think it's this sort of notion, right, that a lot of conservative people have around anything related to sex, right? They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to touch it.
Stigmatized,
it's very stigmatized, but all you do is create more of a mystery, desire. More of an attraction to this thing that you're hating.
That weird concept of like, you want what you can't have.
What you can't have. Yeah. And so you constantly want to shit on this thing that you think is so bad for our morals. Your morals should be able to stand independently of anything else that's going on, right? So also morality is such a binary sort of idea too.
Yeah, it's also very ambiguous. Like, you don't really, there's no clear definition to it. No. Yeah, I mean, there might be a textbook definition to it, but is that really like, black and white?
These same folks use things like religion to make it as black and white as possible. Yeah. But again, that doesn't apply to literally I think, like, the majority of society.
Right.
So I think sex work is absolutely needed. I really
Society,
do.
yeah, for sure. So here's the thing. Like, when it comes to, another thing that they mentioned was a lot of couples come into them, which I thought was really interesting. Because, typically when you think of sex work, you either think of, like, women, being hired by men, or, like, gay men hired by closeted gay men.
Right.
But you never think of couples, like,
Going
reaching out.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's the thing. Again, I can see it.
Yeah.
What if it's a
I
couple
will say
that wants a threesome?
Yeah, and that's what she spoke about a lot. It was like, sometimes it's either, the wife that somehow has some curiosity to be with another woman, so they come to me. Or maybe the wife comes to me because her husband doesn't treat her the way she wants to be treated in the bed. Typically, that's a little more sadist / rougher.
Sure.
Yeah. And so they come to them to kind of, warm up and show them how to do it.
Right.
What else? And sometimes it is men who, want to bring someone else into the equation, and the wife agrees to a sex worker versus a friend, which is smarter.
Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely smarter, because a lot of the times maybe these people don't want to, like, risk a friend or someone that they know knowing, that feels a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
So
Or swingers. Remember that one story that we read where, like, it was like two swingers, and, like, this couple thought they were exclusive with the other couple. Turns out maybe the other couple had another arrangement, or we don't know.
Right. But
it's that scenario. So I think sex work is great.
I think so from that perspective. Like, I think it's super, super helpful, and it can allow people to explore those things. And, like, so that's like sex work, like prostitution, right? And then you have, like, strippers, for example, right? Dancers. And so that is another area of sex work that I think is still, like, really, really stigmatized, I think.
I think so too.
And it, to me, it just seems so bizarre, like, that it's still that way.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, when you think about it, in the scope of sex work, I feel like that seems like the most tame, maybe?
Yeah. Maybe we should take a little break, and then when we come back, we'll break down
the other types.
Yeah, the types of sex work and our opinions on it.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be right back.
All right. All right, guys, so we're back. And we're just going to break down every single, I guess, form of sex work.
Just really quick, before we get into some other juicy bits about it. So obviously we talked about prostitution, which is literally the exchange of...
Transaction, yeah.
It's a transaction, yeah, for any sexual act for some sort of gain. Financial, situational, whatever it may be. And then we have escorting, which is similar,
but also they're misunderstood.
Yeah.
Misunderstood. There you go.
Yeah, misunderstood,
because you don't always have to sleep with that person.
Yeah, a lot of people just pay for
companion.
Yeah, and, like, to have, like, a nice piece of arm candy.
Yeah.
Stripping, like we said, dancing, exotic dancing.
I feel that's another thing that's there's a misconception to stripping, and a lot of go-go dancers are seen as strippers, but there's also a difference. Yeah,
like you're talking about, like, go-go dancers at, like, just bars, like clubs.
Yeah, like gay bars. Like, go-go dancers aren't strippers. They can be, but it's not always. A go-go dancer won't always take everything off.
Right.
Yeah. Versus a stripper will go down to the dirty bits. Did I just sound like will.i.am? Dirty bits.
Sorry. Porn. Obviously a form of sex work.
Yeah.
All kinds of porn.
Now, not all porn actors and actresses are prostitutes.
That's another misconception. Right. That they do both. No. It's...
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously you have your male, female, gay porn actors, and I know for a fact, because I have I know people that do porn, And they always get hit up to be booked by other people.
They're like,
no, that's not what we do.
Right. Yeah. And then we have phone sex.
That one was interesting to me because I didn't even think that was a form of sex work, but it makes sense.
Let's hear it. Do your phone sex voice. Do it. How would you sound? Do it.
It's probably so stupid.
Let's see. Do it. What would it be like? The thing is that if I ever did phone sex, I'd probably try to go like.
You'd probably be like good at it though.
No, but I'd probably go like as like try to be like a more like male
Dumb.
thing. Yeah, because if like literally if somebody was like, okay, Zuki, do your phone sex voice, I'd be like, hey baby, like that's my instinct. I don't even try to sound.
Right. So I saw this cool video. It was like, can't remember who it was. Oh, it was sports. So someone was reading, I guess, their performance tally or a question. Oh, it was a forum. And someone was translating to this person. And then this person paused and they were like, that is the sexiest translator voice I've ever heard. Can you repeat that? Because it did sound like a hotline where you called it masturbate. Because his voice was so sexy. Even I was like, why are you doing that? Yeah. It was like sexual.
Like that.
No. No. You just go deep. I don't know. I think mine would definitely be stupid.
Yeah. Okay, because like if I tried like as a
I don't know why I'd be whispering.
Well, because that's implied. You know, it's supposed to be.
It's like what is it? The videos they make.
Oh yeah, the ASMR.
ASMR, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably be doing that.
Well, no, because remember.
Thank you for calling.
Would you do the neck thing too?
Yes.
Would you be like? Because I feel like you have to get in character, right?
Yeah.
You have to be like, hi. Thank you for calling 1-800-GET-HARD. Is that like, I don't know, something like that.
1-800 just for days.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling Pecker.
Thank you for calling Pecker. Oh, Pecky boy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I think I would struggle.
If I ever do it, I'll record it for you guys.
There we go. Moonlight. And by that same token, camming.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that I'm guilty of.
What do you mean?
You're concerned.
Well, look, the thing is, I don't know what do you mean? Like you've done camming or you've hired camming?
Oh, God, no. I've done it.
How was that?
That was fun.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, was it like a full nude sitch?
Yeah.
Or just... Oh. You didn't get shy?
It wasn't weird. Like, first you take one piece of clothing.
No, like
off
you showed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was ready.
Okay.
Like, you message to warm up, and then once you're all good to go, you turn the camera on, and you're good. Yeah.
Oh.
That was my experience of it, though.
Interesting. Okay, because listen, I know some folks that do camming make some really good money.
Yeah. I was dumb back then. I should have profited on that. Yeah.
Guys, this is what we're saying. Don't give it away for free, because by that thing, OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, OnlyFans. That's a way. I guess that
it's technically mostly camming, no?
I think it'd be more like porn, because they shoot scenes and then they upload them. I don't think it's live. I mean, it can be, I guess.
I think it can be. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen some things that, like, you can, like, if you private message a creator that you subscribe to, that you can request things.
Yeah. And a private is definitely part of it.
Yeah.
But I think OnlyFans is more like porn.
Yeah. Okay, real quick. Can we talk about celebrities doing OnlyFans? How do we feel about that?
I mean, they're people.
Yeah.
They're obviously not doing it for the money, though.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, because there's, like, some...
I mean, if you have a couple million, like...
Like, do you remember the Cash Me Outside girl that went on Dr. Phil?
Uh-huh.
She
She's
is
doing
one
porno?
of the... She's one of the top earners on OnlyFans. We're talking, like, millions and millions of dollars.
I mean, that's smart of her.
No, listen, I love it.
Because she had the following before it, and now everyone wants to pay for
And
her.
that's what I'm saying. Like, in that sense, like, someone that's in the public eye but wants to, like, level up, that's a good
See, if
plan.
General Queery ever gets more than 1 million followers, this one's getting an OnlyFans.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Marking the date.
Right.
Just to think.
Yeah.
Because I am his financial manager, so I do have a vested interest in that. When he does decide to do that.
Right.
His sister
yeah, we'll make my body a business.
Yeah,
it's fine.
his sister and I manage his finances, so.
Yeah.
Or at least we're trying to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think those...
Eventually it'll be something we can manage.
We will make it happen. So yeah, I think those are like the most like well-known. Obviously, again, there's like a little...
There's also this gay artist. He used to be in Wizards of Waverly Place or whatever. I don't know his name, but he's doing OnlyFans now.
Successfully? Like...
Yeah. I mean, he's also like
Beautiful?
packing. He's a cute little twink, but you know.
Pecker is appalled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of Pecker,
Right.
we talk about this little situation.
So, one of the reasons why we decided to call him Pecker is we felt that his top half could be used to call attention to the penile deformity community. You know, sometimes you get a penis that maybe leans a little to the left, is curved a little to the left, maybe a little bit to the right.
Maybe down.
Maybe a little down, maybe up. Maybe he looks a little sad sometimes. And so we're just here to say that every pecker is a worthwhile pecker.
Yeah.
So
We were just talking about that actually. You know, some of those that curve up or down really hit the spot. Right. Or the new spot.
This is never going to get monetized on YouTube.
I know, we suck.
Just never.
It's fine.
It's fine. We're not here for we're here for you.
We are here for you.
So if you are
We're here for you and us and obviously
this.
cocktails.
Yes. So that's one of the reasons why our precious angel looks this way. We're trying to call attention to a different type of penile deformity every episode, hopefully.
I will say I don't think I've ever experienced something
like a double
that.
curve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen them on Twitter. Or aka X.
What is it with all the penises on X? Is that a thing?
I thought that was the only thing.
Really? So it's like Tumblr.
So when Tumblr like deleted all the porn, everyone jumped onto Twitter. X, whatever the
And
fuck.
they brought it over there.
Yeah. And now that Elon Musk is like, no porn, they're like, no worries, we're going on Threads.
Can you imagine the type of shit Elon Musk watches?
Oh, yeah.
Just looking...
He's disgusting, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, just looking at him.
Yeah.
There's no way he's like a regular human being.
Absolutely not.
You know?
Yeah.
There's this picture of him that I saw yesterday. He's like wearing
Shirtless?
this... No, thank God. No, I've seen that one.
I've seen that one, yeah, of course. I think I sent it to you.
Yes. He's wearing this bulletproof vest, but it's too small for him.
Oh, no.
It's exactly what you think. Oh, my God. Ugh, disgusting. So, yeah. Penile deformity. We're here for you.
We support you.
We love you. So, speaking of that, we want to touch on the demographics of sex work.
Yeah.
Because that's super important. So, obviously, when most people think of sex work, they think of
Female prostitution, yeah.
Female prostitution, right?
Yeah.
Female bodies doing it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's not necessarily so far off.
Right.
But
statistically,
sex workers are most likely to be transgender folks.
Yeah.
So transgender people are more likely than the general population to do sex work.
Yeah, I know we talked about this during our Pride episode,
A little bit.
Transgender people do get fetishized a lot.
A lot.
And that's part of why a lot of the sex workers tend to be transsexual females, because it is a fetish.
Correct.
Straight men tend to lean into.
Love it.
Yeah.
Particularly trans women and trans people of color.
Absolutely.
So,
did you know Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera were
yeah, they were sex workers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Both,
heroes to the queer community, but they were both sex workers.
Both sex workers. Yeah, and so. Yeah, so one of the biggest things with that is that it is important when we're talking about sex work is that we do want to make it something positive and we want to talk about it in a positive light.
Yeah.
However,
there is a dark side to
there is
everything.
a dark side to it, and that dark side disproportionately affects queer folks.
Absolutely.
Right? Both in stigma and in abuses perpetrated to folks that do sex work. It's much more it's a dangerous trade, period.
Yeah.
It's exponentially more dangerous to you if you're a trans person or a queer person.
Yeah. So another thing, talking about queer people, another thing, during the 80s, 80s, 90s, when HIV was massive, a lot of the HIV causes were because of gay sex workers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Both trans and, gay men. Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
And guess what? They were hired by straight people, and that's why it became an actual thing.
It's absolutely. Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of, issues with that. And the thing is that because a large percentage of sex workers are trans folks or queer folks, a lot of these things are driven underground, just like anything attached to. And so that leads and extrapolates the danger. Right? Yeah. Most of these people, if they are victimized, if they are, if anything happens to them, very rarely will they come forward because they know what's on the other side. They know they can't do that. Sure. They're definitely not protected at all. So super, super important to highlight that when we think about sex work and making it positive is we have to highlight our family that is out there in a much more precarious situation.
Absolutely.
Because I think that's another aspect of it. OnlyFans and stuff like that, I think it glamorizes a very specific version of a sex worker.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And it's a lot of influencer culture going on.
Oh my God. Massive, right? Yeah.
Which brings us to the next bullet point, I guess, which would be human trafficking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Human trafficking. So
that's one side to sex work that,
Yeah.
Really. And that's another thing. With that interview that I was talking about earlier with Candace Owen, her emphasis was on sex workers make it okay for human trafficking. Which couldn't be any far off from reality. It could be
further from the truth and further from any argument that makes sense. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. No, not at all.
There's a difference from sex work and human trafficking.
Right.
There's a major difference.
Yeah, the simple fact that human traffickers use these people that they kidnap and take away from their communities for sex work only signals for the need of sex work to be this thing that is out in the open and legalized. So that's one of the things that we also want to talk about is legal sex work and why it's important, right? It's one of those things, for example, something as simple as marijuana access, right? Yeah. How many folks are in jail for really stupid
carrying
1G, whatever, when this is not a thing that is harming society on a level.
Yeah, and a lot of people's arguments are people do stupid shit under the influence. No, they do. Have you ever seen someone on marijuana? Do they do anything stupid? Because I just see them on a couch.
They eating
pigging out.
But again, it's one of those things that even things like that disproportionately affect communities of color and communities the marginalized communities, right?
Color and queer people.
So what we're trying to say is when you put things out in the open, like sex work, and make it legal, folks that are victimized, people that are doing sex work against their own will, have a legal recourse, damn it, to go and get some help, right? Or at least it would make it easier. Because there are countries is it the Netherlands? Because Amsterdam, it's legal there. It's legal there. And it's interesting. Some of the sex workers there are trying to get a union.
Yeah, I think there's a couple countries in Europe that do have legalized prostitution.
Yeah.
Yeah, or sex work. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have, obviously, like, I mean, they're at the point right now where they're, like I said, they're trying to get a union, right? Because they're saying sex work is work.
Yeah.
And I agree.
I agree too. Would you say that sex workers come to be sex workers because of need or desire?
I think most of the time
and that's a very
need.
broad question because obviously OnlyFans is desire, like you just want to show off.
Is it?
I think so. Because influencers, like, they're already getting millions off of brands.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
do they really need to open an OnlyFans? Probably not. But they know there's a desire for that.
Or it could just be the desire to make more money.
That too.
You know what I mean?
Do you think money is a huge...
I think it's money.
Okay.
I think it's money. I think it's like, then that's what I mean by sex work as work. Like, we all have to eat.
That's true.
Right?
Because
so,
that was another argument this stupid bitch Candace was saying is like, oh, well, they always just look for the easy way out because it's money, it's profitable.
Bitch, you make your entire life out of hating folks on the internet. That's very easy. I could do that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could fucking do it right now.
Right.
That's the thing. Once again, I think it's this idea that under this sort of very capitalistic society, we have to be willing to toil under the hard sun and all this shit to just make life livable. Yeah. No. If you think you can sell your body for some good money, and if that's the easy way out,
do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Fucking do it. Spread them wide, whatever you got to spread. I don't care. If it's your choice, do it.
Right.
Do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Emphasis on if it's your choice.
If it's your choice. Yeah. If it's your choice, do it. No, and I don't subscribe to this fucking idiotic thing. It's a degradation of society. No. You know what's a degradation of society? When folks can't eat.
Yeah.
That's society falling apart.
Or affordable healthcare.
Affordable healthcare.
Yeah.
People they can't buy a home. That's a degradation of society. Someone buying some dick or pussy is really not that. Sorry.
Oh, another argument. I keep on bringing shit up from that interview, but interesting points. I just want to hear her point of views. Sex addiction.
What about it?
Her main point was like, well, people who come visit you are sex addicts. They need help.
How do they know?
Right.
No.
Right.
Maybe a couple.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But that's the thing. If they're a sex addict, they're going to run out of money soon-ish. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Soonish.
I mean, I'm like, yeah. No, maybe. Maybe some of them are. But no, that's not the majority of people. Exactly. Not at all.
Anyway.
And if that's the case, then close all bars.
True.
Close all restaurants that sell any alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
That's not... We saw how prohibition went, right? Fucking idiots. So there we go. Or maybe you didn't. Read a fucking book, Candace. But yeah, no. So that's why I think, like, legal sex work is so important. Because, again, you can regulate shit.
Yeah.
You can, all that stuff. And that leads us into, like, our sort of last point is health access.
Yeah.
That's a huge part, I think.
I think... Once again, if you're considering or if you are doing sex work, definitely get tested.
Please, guys.
If you haven't heard of PrEP, get on it.
Get on it.
Yeah. Condoms.
And they're working on PrEP for...
Females, yeah.
For females, yeah. So, hopefully that comes out soon.
Soon, yeah, for sure.
Get your HPV shot if you haven't. Well, actually, the boat might have sailed already if you're listening to this podcast because there's only, like, this age... time, but yeah, basically so we live in a country where health access is limited, period, right?
Right.
If you're poor, good fucking luck. Don't step on glass or fucking, I don't know, get a cold because shit might get difficult for you. But once again, sex work.
See, and important to mention, so within that interview, the sex worker did mention that because it is legal in Nevada. She's able to get tested regularly. And because of her line of work, she has to.
She has to.
And she's more responsible about it versus, someone in Texas who doesn't have health care and has to somehow pay for, $140 test.
Every time.
Yeah.
Right. Which, again, like things like the porn industry, for example, making porn is legal. And you can, once again, a lot of porn production companies require that you test regularly. And so from that side of things, it absolutely keeps folks safe so that everyone involved in the sex work trade can have a great fucking time.
Yep.
And stay safe. And so, yeah, I mean, I think for me, that's
I
the biggest thing.
As my closing statement, whether you're in the sex work line or not, just get tested. And also, because I did have a conversation with someone once, and I remember the first time I got tested, and I did want to throw up.
I'm sure,
because I felt disgusted with myself. Because someone told me they came out positive for something, and I had to run to a clinic and be like, holy shit, I might have gotten something. And so turns out I was completely negative. But just the feeling of coming into a clinic and getting tested, and realistically having no one, because I wasn't out yet. So I was like petrified of going into a clinic and then coming with positive results. But I didn't. So that's the thing. Stop stigmatizing healthcare and getting tested.
It's just
sexual health is health.
It's just health.
So if you feel like you have anything, or if you have never been tested, go get tested. Even if you're married, go get tested. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely. I think if you... I agree. I mean, I agree with that closing statement. And same here. Like, I'll parrot that. Like, I think that's why it's so important to stop stigmatizing sex in general.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why folks, like Fonz was saying, if it's your first time walking into a clinic, you might be fucking terrified.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I remember going into a clinic with a friend of mine who needed to find out if she was pregnant. And it was not a fun experience. There were some nice people outside of this clinic. And so, it sucks. And you're just there for something that is just healthcare, innocuous. It happens to everyone. And no, we should stop shaming folks for taking care of themselves. And that goes for sex workers.
Everyone,
and honestly, it'd be really cool, like, if we have any sex workers in our listenership, if there's anything that we missed, please hit us up, DMs, whatever you want to do. That'd be great.
Your feedback is always welcome.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We love the feedback. But so if you support sex workers, say yay.
If you don't, I don't know why not.
Yeah. So, well, we're gonna judge you, but
I still want to hear it though.
Same. I want to hear it. Did a sex worker wreck your home with her massive Godzilla titties? Let us know. But guys. So thank you so much for listening to us for 40 episodes. That was this sex work. What? Sex voice. What?
Yeah. Phone sex voice.
Sex voice. Guys, thank you for 40 episodes, and until next time,
this has been General Queery.
Bye. Bye.